Welcome to another session for Mentoring for Coaches. The aim behind these sessions is to give you an insight around the session on why these sessions were created, give you deeper insights as a coach, and understanding different elements that you should be kind of a bit more aware of. Also, some of you guys are probably more sensory learners and are more auditory, and therefore me speaking to you and you seeing might be a better way for you to process information. So that's the reason why we're doing these. Okay, let's get straight to it. We have got grade 2 Korea working with our superpowers. This is a very non-academic kind of session, but also it's supposed to be. Now, the aim as an overview, the session is about feeling different elements of your senses, but going a lot deeper. So, for example, when we're listening to someone say something, we realize we don't just understand information from the words, we understand information from the tone. Now, this for emotional intelligence is so integral, so important, but also when it comes to communication, a large portion of our communication is actually not the words we say, it's how we say it. It's the intonations, the speed at which we say things, our body language, and that's where most of the communication comes from. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's something like words only count for, let's say, 10% of all communication. The rest of it is body language and tone of voice. So this session is trying to hone into that and kind of have a bit more focus on that. So the session is essentially about turning the human sense into something more three-dimensional so we can pay attention to other areas. But also, as a coach, this is so important because yourself as a coach, you literally focus on all the other areas around the sense. We are paying more attention to than the words than how the person said it. We're paying more attention to the pauses they make. We pay more attention to their body language as it changes when they say something. So this session for you as a coach is a really good refresher and a way to practice back being a coach. Also, it's kind of getting back into touch with more feelings, and probably I would say connecting back a bit more with the heart, which is very much a feeling kind of thing. And you know, in Islam, whenever they're talking about intentions or they're talking about different elements, they always refer to the heart. They don't refer to how you think or your thought, they refer to how you feel, and it's always coming back to the heart. So there is this whole element of importance on feeling and understanding feelings and understanding all the different areas connected to it. So how do you know you've met the objective of this session is when students reach a point where they say, this is what I heard, but this is what I was feeling when I heard that. Or this is what I heard, but this is what it meant. When they can think on two levels, that this is the main thing that I saw, but I saw what was behind it, that's a high level of emotional intelligence. That's what we're trying to get to. And that's important. An area for the coach is in this session, kind of thinking about how do you as an individual communicate with the world through your tone. How do you communicate with other members of your family? So, for example, when I was going through this journey, one of the things that I realized is that I do a lot of things through text. And that's not cool because I'm losing a large portion of communication just through text. And there'll be so many misunderstandings. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. I meant this instead. And my reason previously for texting was I like to get all my thoughts out, but so that I can communicate them better. But if most of it is lost in communication because it's text and not words, I'm actually not communicating better. And so for me, when I was writing this, there's a realization. And then I worked through that. And so for me, voice notes make a lot more sense. Whenever you're having arguments or conversations with other partners or with members of the family or just friends or colleagues, wherever possible, try to communicate things through actual language, body language. I guess the best thing is in person. Then it's going to probably be on a phone call or a voice note. Text is probably the least important or the least effective. So that's quite useful. And just throughout the week, seeing how other family members communicate with you and how other families respond to the way you communicate. That will be important. If you're a father, for example, how do your kids interact with you? Are they quite formal? Are they quite shy around you? If so, then it's probably something to do with your tone of voice. Are you okay with that? How do you want to be responded to? If you are, let's say, a mother or a wife or a sister, when you speak to others around you, how do you communicate with them? And it can go down to really in detail things of, we're not even going to go into that, but that's the aim of this. And probably a week after this session, and even in the lead up to this session, just constantly being aware on what you're actually hearing and what's really being communicated, and if we're effective communicators or not, would be very, very useful. I would be really interested to see what comes up for you guys once you do this session, when you're fully involved in it as well. So again, if anything comes up, reach out to me, drop me a message. I think you guys do have questionnaires that you fill out after every session, so that would be really cool to see and read what's happening on that. Or reach out to your head coach. Good luck with the session. See you guys on the next one. Take care.